I want you to ponder these 4 questions. Here's the first one, and that's why. Why pay the price? Why work this hard? Why go this far? Why try to learn this much? Why develop yourself to the full? Why try to become all that you can possibly become? That's a good question, why? And you're the only one personally that can answer that question for yourself. You've got to have your own list of whys. Here's what I want you to do when you go home after you've left this extravaganza. Work on your list of whys. One of the big thrusts for success is to come up with a strong enough why. In leadership training, here's what we learn. If the why is powerful, the how is easy. Now, here's number 2. The first question to ponder when you go home is why. Here's another good answer to why. It's the second question. Why not? Why not see how much you can earn? Why not see how much you can learn? Why not see how many skills you can develop? Why not see what kind of person you can become? Why not see what kind of influence you can have? Why not see how many people you can rescue from oblivion? I want you to take that personal. Why not? Why not? Now here's number 3. Why not you? I wish I could say that to each of you individually, but it would take a couple of lifetimes to sit down and talk with each of you individually. But I want you to take it personal. And my personal question to you is, why not you? You've got the brains. You can make decisions. You can study the plan. You can change your life. You can grow immensely in the next few years. You can make your dreams come true. You can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. You can become healthy. You can become powerful. Why not you? And I'm here to say that I'm ready to pledge my support to make your personal dreams come true. I asked the question, why not you? But I'm not going to ask it and just walk away. I'm going to ask it and walk with you. And now here's my last question. My very last question on the questions to ponder is, why not now? There never was a better time. Take this dream and not let it die. Take this dream and give it life. Take this dream and breathe into it your own personal spirit until finally it becomes a flame that burns around the whole world. Let's go do it now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 1 of the publication roadmap. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I'm honored to be here with you guys. Such a pleasure. Welcome, everyone, to day 1 of the publication roadmap. So I'm going to jump right into it and just tell you guys that the goal for today is we're going to learn how to develop. It's a very practical training. This is all very practical, hands-on. The goal for today will be for us to learn methods to develop strong research ideas that are very valuable. They get published in the best journals. So by the end of today, you will not just leave here with some theoretical concepts. You're going to leave with practical skills that you can apply in your own career. So this is going to be a transformative journey for you. But the first 15 minutes, what we're doing right now, my goal is to energize everyone and to make sure that you guys are aware of the transformative journey that the publication roadmap will be for your career. This will be an inflection point for your journey. And my goal is in this session right now, in the first 15 minutes, is just to give you guys some announcements and share with you what this will be like, what our 2 days together will be like. I also have some housekeeping points. But the first thing we're going to do is just to get to know each other. I see people here introducing themselves. I'm interested in 2 things, if you could share. Your level of training, like if you're a med student, if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're a nutritionist, and where you're from. Those are the 2 things I'm interested in getting to know you guys. So I see people from Mexico. I see people from Poland, from all over. We have more than 150 countries represented in the publication roadmap. So do tell me, all of you guys, where you're from, please. Okay? All right. So we're going to jump right into it because I only want to spend 15 minutes or so on these announcements, 15 to 20 minutes. And again, my goal is for you to understand what's about to happen today and tomorrow, how this will impact your career, how this will be a transformative journey for you. So let's jump right into it. We like to call this day zero of the publication roadmap. It's because we take you guys from zero, lots of you guys from zero skills, zero knowledge, zero background in research. Not all of you. I know some of you are already even PhDs, but a lot of people are starting from scratch. And that's why we like to call it day zero, because it's from step 0 to 1. It's that going from zero until you eventually become a hero. We like to say 0 to hero. Okay, so let's get started right away. Again, this is my point here is to make sure, one, you guys are well caffeinated. So this first part is mostly announcements and explaining to you what the days will be like. So if you still need to get that coffee right next to you, go ahead and do that, because I need you guys really well caffeinated and focused for this publication roadmap. And if you do this, this will be a critical moment between where you are right now in your career and where you want to go. So right now, you guys told me you're medical students, you're residents, you're surgeons, but I'm sure all of you guys have aspirations. I'm sure you guys have aspirations. So I want to help you guys go to that next level. And this publication roadmap will be a critical point for you. Just a second for a message here for the team. Okay, so this is a critical point for you guys. And I'm going to show you some examples to get you guys energized on this. So Natalia, for example, she's a medical student from Colombia who did the publication roadmap a couple of years ago. Now she's a resident at the University of Miami. And obviously, the publications really helped her in this journey. So this is maybe an aspiration for some of you that you want to advance your career towards residency in the US. Carlos, for example, he did a research fellowship in radiology at the University of Michigan. So that may be also an aspiration to some. And he started in the publication roadmap a number of years ago, published a lot of papers, and secured a research fellowship at the University of Michigan. Julia is now doing a research fellowship at Harvard University, for example. Luca got a master's degree at Johns Hopkins with a full scholarship. These are all folks. Mangesh matched into internal medicine at the I forgot where he matched actually. So and he's from India. So this program, the publication roadmap, is where these folks started. And again, my motivation here right now in the beginning is to say, listen, wherever you are in your career and you want to go, doing the research will help you achieve that goal. I do want to hear this answer from you guys as well in the chat. What are the barriers that you guys face currently in doing the type of research that I've shown on the screen from Mangesh, from Luca, from Julia? What are the barriers you face in research? Is it lack of mentors, lack of skills, lack of time? Like, what holds you back to achieve these high impact first author publications? Please let me know. Is it lack of funding? Is it lack of, again, professors to guide you, lack of institutional support? Not having a clear roadmap, lack of mentors. Yeah, everyone talks about lack of mentorship. Wow, that seems to be the dominant one. Lack of ideas. Lack of ideas, lots of people put that in the chat. So again, I'm going to teach you a method over today and tomorrow that you can overcome all the barriers. Lack of skills, lack of time, lack of mentors, lack of guidance, lack of institutional support. All these barriers that you guys face, I'm going to explain step by step how you can overcome these barriers in your own journey. Again, these are the most common barriers that people tell us when we do these sessions. And if you, again, let me explain this. If you follow today and tomorrow, again, I'm just talking about announcements in the first 20 minutes because these are important. But soon enough, we're going to talk, for example, on how to develop ideas. So that's in the skills domain. So if you follow the publication roadmap in these 2 days, I'm going to teach you how to tear down, how to destroy all these barriers. Let me know if this applies to you. I know a lot of you guys said mentors, lack of mentors, but what I'm going to teach you is that once you have the skills, you can actually find mentors. It's very hard to find mentors that will teach you everything from scratch. But once you develop those skills, it's actually not hard at all to find good mentors. So in my view, one thing that limits you guys a lot is not having any clue where to start. Is that the case for many of you? Right? So lots of people like Mohammed said, I don't even know where to start. That's why we call this day zero. That's why we call this day zero, because most of you, a lot of you are stuck on that step one, which is going from 0 to square one. Okay, so that's why we call it day zero. Welcome to day zero of the publication roadmap. Okay, and let me tell you what step one is in every research project, whether you're a medical student in Pakistan or whether you're a senior researcher at Harvard University or Johns Hopkins Hospital. It all starts with an idea. Every single research project starts with one idea. And that's exactly what we're going to learn today. That's why we spend so much time in the publication roadmap talking about developing ideas. As I'm going to show you, this is all within your reach. So today, you're going to learn in a little bit after I finish my announcements, the five methods for you to develop impactful research ideas with autonomy. So that's going to be most of what we discussed on today on our first session. And again, I want to assure you that these methods work whether you are a professor at Harvard University like I am. So I should probably give a disclosure right now that even though I am a cardiologist at Harvard and I teach a research course at Harvard as well, the classes in my program at Harvard for research starts this next week. What we're doing here today, the publication roadmap and the Meta-Analysis Academy, is not affiliated with Harvard University. Okay, I am obligated to mention that the opinions here are my own, and they don't necessarily reflect the opinions of Harvard or my employers. But the key point I want to make is that these methods that I'm about to teach you, they work whether you are a professor at Harvard and you have 3,000 citations, or whether you are a junior medical student. And they also work regardless of geography. So Jostelin, for example, he is from the small country of São Tomé and Príncipe, a small island in the west coast of Africa, did medical school in Mozambique, published in the American Journal of Perinatology as first author. So the same methods that I would apply in my research in Boston is what Jostelin applied in this strong paper. All of these are students who learned the publication roadmap. Jostelin, Vina, Juliana, Joaquin, and Abdelrahman, they all learned these steps that I'm about to teach you here in the publication roadmap. This is Lua. Lua is from the country of Lebanon. Anyone from Lebanon here? I'm sorry that you guys are going through such hardship there. Lua is a third-year medical student from Lebanon and published as first author in JAMA Pediatrics, applying the same methods that I'm about to show you. Again, this works regardless of level of training. Any pre-meds here? Are there any pre-medical students here? Anyone who's not even in medical school? Anyone not in medical school yet? Anyone? Okay, all right. So seems like we have a few pre-med students right there. Okay, so João is now he's a medical student, but at the time he published this last academic year, he was a pre-medical student at the University of South Florida in Tampa. And again, he published this as first author. We also have all the way to senior surgeons like Bernardo. He's a surgeon with 30 years of experience, but hadn't published research before. And by learning the publication roadmap, and again, all of this is on PubMed, you guys can verify this. Bernardo is a surgeon, a senior surgeon, and applied the same method. So it works regardless of geography, regardless of level of training, and regardless of specialty. Okay, so here's one who published in Cardiology. From Colombia, Matteo from Italy, published in the American Journal of Otolaryngology. So it really doesn't matter, again, what specialty you're interested in, even if it's something as random, not as random, excuse me, as niche, as specialized as genetics. Anyone from team genetics there? Anyone from medical genetics interested in that? So this is the American Journal of Medical Genetics, okay? So Anna published as first author right there. She's a medical student. So it works regardless of specialty. I am going to finish my announcements in a second, but this is a very important one. We love a phrase here in the Meta-Analysis Academy. So the publication roadmap is being run by the Meta-Analysis Academy, as you guys know. And there's a phrase here that we really love to share with you guys, which is this: how you do anything is how you do everything. Take a moment to read this and reflect on it. Just take like 5 seconds to reflect on this. How you do anything is how you do everything. So you've already set up your time. You've registered for the program. You're going to spend time here on Saturday and Sunday. Do it right. Watch all the classes. Do the exercise, the homework I'm going to give you guys. Engage. Participate. Stay away from social media during this time. You really have to focus and zone in and have some deep level of learning. Some of the concepts that I'm going to teach you are easy. Some are not. Some are technically more advanced. And this will require your full participation and commitment to the program. Okay? So this is what I applied in my whole career, whether I was taking care of a patient in the intensive care unit or doing a table 1 for my paper when I was a resident at the University of Miami, then at Johns Hopkins, whether it was in my EKG program that I teach thousands of students all over the world. It's always with a lot of passion and commitment. So I'm going to finish the announcements with this very important point that you guys really have to dedicate yourself. It's really helped me to not only publish the papers and advance my career, get invitations to write book chapters, to present at conferences, but you require this level of commitment. Okay? All right? Sounds good? It's helped me win teaching awards from Harvard and other places. So, and it's also helped our students, of course. Okay? So there's one more final announcement here before we move on, which is about the giveaways. Okay? I just have to give these announcements here, and then we're going to get started. There will be 2 giveaways that we offer, that we promise to you guys, okay? One giveaway is a scholarship in the Meta-Analysis Academy, okay? You will have to attend live both days, today and tomorrow, to participate on this. And there will be an iPad giveaway. It's a raffle. Both are raffles, okay? The first one is for attending live both days. The iPad giveaway is for people who submit the exercise by 9 a.m. New York time tomorrow. We will explain at the end of this session how you can do and submit your exercise. But you have to do that to participate in the raffle to win that iPad, okay? So at the end, we will share the link for you to submit your exercise, but make sure to do that by tomorrow morning so you can compete for the iPad giveaway. I'm going to ask you guys that I know a lot of people want to join the full program, the Meta-Analysis Academy. I know a lot of people have questions about the raffle. I would ask you guys that leave the chat clean from those things. Let's not talk right now about the Meta-Analysis Academy and the classes and the statistical program and everything else we teach. I know a lot of people want to join. There will be an opportunity for you to join the Meta-Analysis Academy. But we will ask that you don't ask those questions now. There will be the appropriate time to discuss that. Also, don't share any WhatsApp links, emails, cell phones in the chat. We do this for your own personal protection. There have been scammers in the past that tried to hijack, these webinars. So anyone who sends personal information there will be deleted and banned, Okay, so don't do that. And if people have any questions about these and how do I register attendance, for example, we will do this at the end. You can just respectfully and nicely and politely answer them in the chat. Okay, we will share the attendance link at the end. So you have to stay live until the very end. There will be an exercise. It's very important that you do it. Remember what I said. How you do anything is how you do everything. Okay? So attendance will be at the end. That's it for my announcements. Are you guys ready? Can I start? Look at that. I did it in just 17 minutes. I have 3 minutes short of my 20 minutes. You guys ready? Let's start. Everyone caffeinated and ready to go? Yes? All right. Very good. Okay. So today's session will be divided in 2 parts. The first part is 5 methods for you to learn how to develop great high-impact research ideas. The second part is going to be the gateway to develop beyond the ideas, successful publications. How do you go beyond idea to successful publications? That's the second part. So let's get started right away. This session now will train you on 5 methods to develop impactful research ideas with autonomy. And when we talk about research ideas, guys, it's all about controversy. This is important. It is all about finding topics that are controversial in the literature. So what I'm going to teach you is 5 methods to find good controversies in your area of interest, whether it's anesthesiology or vascular surgery from A to V. Whether you like, genetics or cardiology, you're going to learn how to find the controversies in your area of interest. And again, remember what I said in the announcements. These methods work regardless of level of training, specialty, geography, wherever you are in the world. If you are a nurse, if you're a doctor, if you're a pre-med student, if you are a resident, it works every time for health-related clinical questions. So the first method is very obvious and apparent, but we still have to go over it. The other ones are increasingly interesting and novel. But the first one is a very obvious one that many people disregard, and I want to cover it first. The first one is the bedside. It's very common, whether you are a specialist, whether you are an orthopedic surgeon or endocrinologist, or you are an early medical student, it's very common to have questions at the bedside. So you see a patient in the operating room, in the emergency room, in clinic, and you have a question. You don't know how to treat certain condition. You don't know how to make a diagnosis. You have a clinical question. A lot of those clinical questions that we have are gaps in our own knowledge. The literature knows, the textbook knows, UpToDate knows, the guidelines know, and we don't yet. So we just study and we learn and we continue to evolve. But many of the questions that we have at the bedside are questions that the experts have. The guidelines don't know. UpToDate doesn't know. So these clinical AI doesn't know because it's controversial. So these questions at the bedside can transform into great research ideas. And I'm going to show you an example. So Enrique published this very strong paper in the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Where's team OBGYN? Let me know if you're team OBGYN in the chat. It seems that it's become very, very popular. Okay. So Enrique was doing an array rotation. He loves OBGYN. So he was doing an array rotation. And he noticed that at his hospital and at this place in the away rotation, they managed a certain clinical issue differently. So the situation is as follows. A woman has a baby. And the woman says, oh, I'm very happy with the baby, but I don't want to have new babies for a long time. I want to have long-term contraception. So he noticed that in one hospital, they didn't implant long-term contraception right after delivery. They waited. I'm not sure exactly why, but they waited. In the other hospital, if the lady said, oh, I don't want to have babies for now, I want contraception long-term, they implanted it right away. So Enrique noticed this discrepancy. Well, in this place, they do it one way. The other place, they do the other way. I'm sure you guys have noticed this a ton, right? In your medical schools, you see experts debating on what to do, how to treat a patient. Obviously, if you're a resident, you see this every day on rounds, on morning reports and sessions and things like that. Correct? Right? So everyone sees this all the time. So when you do this, when you see this controversy, that may be a controversy in the literature, and you can go ahead and you can do a strong paper on it, which is what Enrique did. So he was in one city in Brazil, and he noticed that there was a discrepancy between different hospitals on how they manage this problem. And he published that very same idea, a research on that topic, at the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. And this was a bedside question. So what if you're not in the hospital yet? You're not in the ICU. You're not in the operating room. You're pre-med. You're early career medical students. You don't have that clinical experience. Well, then the other methods will work for you because you don't have the bedside experience yet. Okay? So let's talk about method number 2. Method number 1 is don't discount your clinical questions. Go to the bedside. When you have those questions, write them down and go home and figure out, is it just something you didn't know yet, but everyone else does, and you're a junior and you're learning? Or is it something that really no one knows yet and it's very controversial? If it is, that may be a research idea. Let's talk about method number 2, recent publications. So when you see a paper like this in the New England Journal of Medicine, everyone knows New England Journal of Medicine, worldwide famous journal. If you see a paper come out like this, doing lobar surgery or sublobar resection for lung cancer, let me ask you guys, if that topic was published in the New England Journal of Medicine, is it because it's a relevant, controversial topic, or is it because it's a weak, well-established topic? Obviously, it's the first. Obviously, it's a very strong, debatable, hot topic with lots of controversy. So if you go to these top journals in your specialty, let's say, for example, you like vascular surgery, you could go to Journal of Vascular Surgery, which is like, I think, number 1 or number 2 journal in the area. If you see what's being published in the top journals in your field, those topics are very interesting, controversial, and relevant. So this came out in the New England Journal of Medicine, and Patrick Meldola, who was a third-year medical student at the time, he published a meta-analysis on that topic. Why? Because it's controversial, because it had this special ingredient that we're talking about. The controversy, it's relevant, it's important, and it's controversial. How did he know? He's not a surgeon yet. He's a third-year medical student. It's because it came out in the New England Journal of Medicine. So presumably, it's interesting, novel, debatable, controversial, all the ingredients you want in a good research topic. And you may say, well, Rhanderson, if it came out in the New England Journal of Medicine, isn't that already solved? Don't we have a definitive answer for that topic? Very rarely is that the case, guys. Very rarely. On most instances, when a paper comes out in the Lancet, in the New England, in JAMA, in all these top journals, it's just one extra block on information on a topic that's very controversial. Not always. Sometimes the paper is definitive, but most of the time there's still ongoing controversy. Let me show you an example from Carol. This is insane, guys. Carol, when she published this, she was a first-year medical student. She wasn't a doctor, she wasn't a surgeon, she wasn't a gynecologist, but she knew she was interested in women's health. So I explained the same method that I'm explaining to you guys, to Carol as a first-year medical student, and she went and applied it and developed an idea on polycystic ovarian syndrome. She she told me, I'm a first year medical student. I have no idea when I started about polycystic ovarian syndrome. So this is a key point. You don't have to be a worldwide expert on a topic to start doing research on that. But as you do that project, you will become very skilled and knowledgeable. You will read about it. If you are a third year medical student and you know nothing about sickle cell disease, right? You're just learning about sickle cell disease and the hemoglobin mutations and all this stuff. You're going to study it, right? Obviously. If you're a pre-med student, if you're a first, second, third year medical student, you can do the same on a topic that you're doing research. So you don't have, it's important, you don't have to be a worldwide expert when you start the project, but you will become, that's right. Thank you, Maria, for updating. And this is a new term for it. It's polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. The name change. That's a very good reminder. So you don't have to be an expert on this syndrome when you start the project, like Carol did. And you will become very knowledgeable and skilled once you apply the method and you start doing research on that topic. Understand? Everyone good with this? So she found the controversial, debatable topic on the literature, and she published, look where she published, guys. European Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Look at that. European Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. All right? Let's see some other examples. This is in ophthalmology. Where's Team Ophtho? Team Ophtho. In the chat, please. Team Ophthalmology. So Team Ophtho, look at what Tiago did. This came out right here. Look, this is Retina. Retina is one of the world famous journals in ophthalmology. Okay? So this came out on a very, very controversial topic. Photobiomodulation. I'm not an ophthalmologist, so I don't know exactly what that means, what that is. I know it's very controversial. So Tiago applied this very same method that I'm teaching you. Guys, this came out in Retina. He published a meta-analysis on that topic. He took this piece of information and he put it together with other controversial, debatable papers and did a meta-analysis on this topic. Okay? And let me teach you guys a very practical way for you to apply this. You guys ready? You have pen and paper? You guys have pen and paper there? So do this, please. Write down the following steps, and you're going to do this today with the exercise. You're going to do this today. This is not tomorrow. Oh, but it's 10 p.m. in, Japan, wherever you are in the world. As soon as you finish this, you do the homework or go to bed and do it tomorrow morning. But you got to do what I'm about to tell you. Number one, you are going to find the 5 top journals in your specialty. You guys hear me? You're going to find the 5 top journals in your specialty. How can you do that? Very simple. You either know, let's say you are already a specialist. Many of you guys are already dermatologists, cardiologists, and oncologists, so you know. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is find the good journals to follow. Either you already know because you're a specialist, or you ask a mentor, or you ask AI. Okay, so you could ask AI, Claude, ChatGPT. You could say, I want to know the 5 top journals in pediatrics. It could be 5, it could be 7. I want to know the 5 top journals in cardiology. You guys see the examples here? Yes? Everyone with me so far? You guys good? So it doesn't matter if it's 5 or 7. And also, it doesn't have to be the exact 5. It doesn't matter if you get journal number 7 instead of journal number 6. That's irrelevant. What you want to do is find the best journals in your specialty, plastic surgery, nephrology, everything. And then you're going to write down those 5 names or 7 names. Okay, let's pick 5. 5 is a good start. You're going to pick 5 best journals in your specialty. And then, so that's step number 1. Step number 1 is find the 5 best journals in your specialty. Okay? All right? Oh, this is an important point from DeLuca. And this goes for early career people who are not yet locked in on one specialty. Okay? It's okay. It's totally fine when you're pre-med, when you're early medical student, to change interest over time. But you can't do research if you don't have some interest. So you may know nothing about clinical medicine yet, but if you have some interest in heart disease, pick cardiology. If you have some interest in dementia, cognition, pick neurology. If you have some interest in treating children, pick pediatrics. Over time, your interests may evolve, and that's totally fine. That is totally fine. Okay? Everyone good so far, my friends? Yes? So step number 2 is sign up to the newsletters from those journals. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to those journals' websites, and you're going to click here on the page. You're going to sign up for free. You don't have to pay anything for this. It's free, okay? You're going to go and you're going to sign up for their newsletters. Get the latest from JAMA Pediatrics or New England Journal of Medicine or Journal of the American College of Cardiology, whatever journal you pick. And then step number 3 is you're going to start reading the newsletters. You're going to start getting emails like this saying, hey, John, you signed up for our newsletter, so here you go, brother. Here are the titles and the abstracts of the papers we published this week. And you're going to get those emails every week. And what are you going to do? Option A, delete them. Option B, put on spam. Option C, ignore the email. Or option D, read the title and abstract every single week. Which one do you guys think it will be? Option A, B, C, or D? It's option D. You are going to read those titles and abstracts that you get on your email every single week. Every week, you will read them. Because if you do this, if you develop the habit of doing this, it's a habit, and it only takes about an hour of your week. If you develop you're not going to read the full papers, only of those topics that really interest you. But you're going to read the title and abstract, title and abstract, title and abstract of every single newsletter that comes to your email inbox. And if you do that over a period of a few weeks, days, months, you will have great, great, great research ideas. Did everyone understand method number 2? Did everyone understand method number 2 for developing great research ideas? Yes? So let's look at an example, and then we'll be done with this method number 2. I just showed you that you can sign up to the newsletter from JAMA Pediatrics, correct? I just showed you that. Well, look at this paper that came on that newsletter about 1 year ago. It's from Dr. Miyasaka. It's on the use of the electroencephalogram for titration of anesthesia in pediatric cases. Okay, it just came out. It's a randomized controlled trial. Lua and Firas, which are medical students in Lebanon, signed up to the newsletter. They read the newsletter, and they did a meta-analysis on this topic, and they published in the exact same journal that they had signed up for the newsletter. They published in JAMA Pediatrics. They are third-year medical students in Lebanon at the time they applied this very same method. Do you guys understand how powerful this is? Yes? They saw the newsletter and they published the paper on the same topic in the same journal of JAMA Pediatrics. Okay? Get it? Understand? So this goes to show you, you don't need money to do this. You know, they're in Lebanon. They don't have millions of dollars for clinical trials. They're in Lebanon. Unfortunately, you don't need resources. You can do this with an internet, a computer, and all the things that I'm going to teach you in the publication roadmap. And it all starts with one idea. It starts with one idea. Okay? All right. Can we go to topic number 3? Yes? Hot topics. Hot topics. Hot topics. Number 3. So, everyone is very familiar with the concept of news outlets like CNN, Fox News, Al Jazeera, all these news outlets are constantly disputing your attention, right? Oh, there's this terrible flood in the China-Nepal border, and our heart goes out to you guys, to families there. The earthquake recently in Venezuela and Colombia. So, like, there's these dramatic events in the world, and because we're such a global community, again, really sorry if any of you guys are affected by any of this, and God help you all. And we certainly pray for a fast recovery and consolation for all of you guys affected by these terrible disasters. And whether it's catastrophic news like that or positive news, these news outlets, like I mentioned, they are constantly fighting for your attention. Breaking news, this just happened in the world, and this happens all the time. Well, guess what? This obviously why they're doing it is because your attention is very valuable to them. There's money in advertisement and all these things. So you guys know that. But the reason why I'm explaining this is because the same concept applies in the medical field. The same concepts applies in the medical field, okay? So here's some examples of this. There are many medical news outlets that are desperately trying to get your attention to share the latest medical research findings. So I call them like these hot topics platforms. These are some of these examples. It could be UpToDate, Medscape, social media like Twitter or X, podcasts. These platforms are desperate for the attention of plastic surgeons, cardiologists, neurologists. They want to share valuable, controversial, new, debatable information with you and trade it for your attention. They want you to read their newsletters. They want you to listen to their podcasts. They want to have audience, viewership. Okay? That's what those news outlets do. And you can take advantage of this because someone in their editorial team is filtering out garbage and showing you very valuable and controversial information. So if you go to Medscape, you will find a page on diabetes and endocrinology debates. If you go to UpToDate, you will find a page on what's new in the field of hematology, what's new in oncology. You will find all of that. If you open that page, what's new in obstetrics and gynecology, it's going to tell you the latest, the most breaking, what just came out in the New England Journal of Medicine, what is controversial, what is exciting about the field. That's what you're going to find there. And if you read these hot topic news outlets, you are going to find a ton of controversial topics. Okay, you're going to find a ton of great research ideas. What's new in oncology? You know, one of the fun things that I love doing this with you guys is because you guys start jumping one step ahead. Look at what Noor said. Semsi Noor said, "Listen, I love all of this." I'm paraphrasing, of course, Semsi. I love this, but I see this and I'm interested. How do I find out which of these topics is more useful? Well, that's the next step. That's not step number one. That's not step number one. Step number one is to have research ideas. Then we will figure out which one are the best ideas. But we can't debate ideas if we don't know which one, if we don't have the ideas. Everyone understand that? So people start making these comments about steps number 3 and 4 and 2 and 5 and 7. It means you're getting it. It means you're getting it, but we're still in step number 1. We're still in day 0, from 0 to 1, which is developing research ideas. Everyone with me so far? Yes? Okay. All right. So again, hot topics. Read UpToDate, read Medscape, listen to the podcast. Oh, this is really cool. Look at this publication. Where's Team Oncology, folks? Where's Team Oncology? You know, I have, you guys may know this, but I have a large following on social media. So I have about in Brazil, where I'm originally from. I have about 190,000 followers, and on the Meta Analysis Academy, the English account, about 180 almost. And so I get a lot of messages from students like, hey, Dr. Cardoso, I'm a third-year medical student. What do you think about specialty this? And what do you think about specialty that? Neurology, neurosurgery. And I'm going to give some public advice that I often only give in private. If you guys are interested in internal medicine, the best field in internal medicine today is called oncology. And I say that as a cardiologist. With it hurts my heart to say it. But oncology is super exciting. There's so much research, so much money in research, so much development and personalized. And so it's by far, like there's not even a debate. It's by far, within internal medicine, the most exciting field these days. So obviously, I'm very passionate about cardiology. The pathophysiology is fascinating. But if you like oncology, I highly recommend you guys to do oncology. Okay, so this is the European Society of Medical Oncology. This is like the largest society together with the American. So there's American Society of Clinical Oncology and European Society of Medical Oncology. And this is their journal. It's a really strong journal. It's a phenomenal journal. And Dr. Michelon, she was a medical student at the time. Now she's a doctor. She published on trastuzumab for treatment of breast cancer with brain metastasis. This is a really strong paper, great journal. Where did she get the idea from this? She's a medical student. She's not an oncologist. Where do you guys think she got the idea to do this? It was from UpToDate. It was from UpToDate. It was what's new in oncology and UpToDate. It's not what I'm showing you in the screen because it's from a few years ago, but it was exactly from right here. Okay? So it's exactly from this page. So trastuzumab, woman with breast cancer and brain metastasis. And she published that in the European Society of Medical Oncology. And that paper she did as a medical student was cited in the American Society of Clinical Oncology guidelines. Can you believe it? Can you imagine? You're a medical student and your paper in one of the best journals in the world in your field gets cited in the guidelines in your field. It influences how doctors all over the world are going to treat women with breast cancer. It's mind-blowing. And it came from UpToDate. It came from these hot topics that I'm explaining to you guys. Okay? All right? Everyone get that? Here's another example. Social media, guys. Social media, okay? This is a paper from Vanessa. She was a medical student at the time, and now she's a resident. She matched in pediatrics at UPMC, University of Pittsburgh. But Vanessa at the time was a medical student, and she saw this idea in Twitter. So there are many pages in Twitter that share research, controversy, hot topic, debates, all these things. And one of these journals is one of these pages is called Neopapers, neonatology papers. And they shared this idea of like caffeine for preterm babies. It's crazy, right? I didn't know people did this, give caffeine for preterm babies. Apparently it's a thing. Apparently it's how you treat this condition in children. But it came out and Vanessa saw this on Twitter, on X, and she published a paper on this in neonatology, one of the top journals in the field. So she's now a pediatrics resident in University of Pittsburgh. Pretty cool, isn't it? It's fascinating. Wow. So you can also see this in podcasts. So like listen to podcasts in your area, okay? This is one of the episodes that I did with Cardio Nerds. Many of you guys know this. So like someone said, what about surgery? What about surgery? There's a podcast. I think it's called The House of Surgery. I may be wrong, but there are these podcasts, hot topic debates in all fields: neurology, neurosurgery, general surgery, plastic surgery, whatever. It works for every single specialty. Every single specialty. Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's talk about conferences. Okay. This is important. What about for nursing, for pharmacy, for nutrition, for a dentist? works the same way. It's the exact same thing. Just like I say, it works for pediatrics and cardiology. Well, it also works for nutrition. It works for dentistry. It works for all specialties within healthcare. Okay? You just have to apply the same methods. If you like dentistry, for example, if you're a dentist, apply the newsletter method. What are the 5 best journals in dentistry in your area? Read the title and abstract every week. You will find the controversial topics right there. Okay? All right? Sounds good? So it works for every specialty. Let's go to topic number 4, conferences. Conferences. So this here, TCT, is the #1 interventional cardiology conference in the world. TCT, it means transcatheter therapeutics. Okay? Transcatheter therapeutics, TCT. Okay? Okay, so this is another good question of someone just trying to expedite things. So Salma said, okay, how do I know if it's a valuable research idea? That's not step number 1, Salma. That's future step. So at this point, when people start really understanding it, they start asking future steps. But we still have much to learn about step number 1, guys. How to develop research ideas. I appreciate the appetite, the hunger, like people really want to go, but we have to take it one step at a time. You guys are going to learn all of this if you watch the entire roadmap today and tomorrow. But we still have to develop more valuable methods for finding research ideas. You guys with me so far? Yes? All right? Okay, let's do it. Again, people are asking like all sorts of specialties in the chat. Someone asked like microbiology. It's the same principle, guys. I can't really do examples with 50 medical specialties because we would stay here for a full month going over example after example in every specialty. But what I want you to understand is not the specific topic in breast cancer or pediatrics. It's the concept behind it. It's where you go to find the research ideas. That's what I'm trying to teach you. Everyone understand that? It's applicable in every single area. So if you say, what about neurosurgery? I'm going to say it works. What about, orthopedic? It works. It's the same thing, okay? So now let's learn method number 4, the conferences, okay? All right, very good. Okay, so this is the #1 conference in the world, TCT, in interventional cardiology. A few years ago in TCT, they presented this trial. This trial was PCSK9 inhibitors, okay? PCSK9 inhibitors. Just a second, sorry. PCSK9 inhibitors for treating LDL in acute coronary syndrome. Okay, so this trial called EPIC-STEMI came out at TCT. When you go to these large conferences, thank you, Samuel. So when you go to these large conferences, guys, there's something called late breaking. Have you guys heard that term? Late breaking clinical trials. Like right now, this very weekend, in Germany is happening European Society of Cardiology. And then oncology has 2 big conferences every year, European and American. Dermatology, the same thing. So in these conferences, when you go, there's something called late-breaking clinical trials. What are the fanciest, newest, hot topic studies that just came out in that specialty? And it's usually the center stage. It's the conference and the event that has the most people. So on those late-breaking stages, people present new research. And if you go and if you look and if you understand the research that's being presented there, it's going to be new, controversial, hot topic, debatable. It's going to have all the ingredients you want for your research project. So in this case, for example, EPIC-STEMI was a trial that came out in TCT, and Gustavo, who was a medical student at the time, published a paper on this topic. in the American Journal of Cardiology. And look, he included epic STEMI. So this is epic STEMI. He included it in his trial, in his paper, excuse me. And he presented this in the Netherlands at the European Society of Cardiology. And here's the secret to this. You don't have to actually go to the conference. You're like, oh, Rhanderson, I don't have money to keep traveling to Europe and New York and California for these conferences. You don't have to go because they publish their late-breaking clinical trials. You can go, not all conferences, but most do. So right now at European Society of Cardiology, if you're in Munich, great. If you're not in Munich, if you couldn't go, like I couldn't go this year, I have a baby and I couldn't go, I'm visiting family, I couldn't go this year, it just didn't fit my schedule to go to the European Society of Cardiology this year. But I can still find out what are the hot topics being presented in Germany at this very moment. You can go to the conference website and you can find out those hot topics, okay? So number 4 is to find the late-breaking clinical trials, the most exciting. So again, this is from American Society of Clinical Oncology. You can search the program guide. This is from the American Heart Association. You can review the late-breaking clinical trial there that's being presented there, okay? All right, everyone with me? Yes? All good? Let's go. Let's do method number 5 and finish with this first class. All right. Okay, so method number 5 is guidelines. This is a very underutilized resource. Oh, by the way, guys, tomorrow, when we go over the exercise, we're going to use AI to do a lot of this stuff here. That's right. So my philosophy on AI and research is the following. It's very good to help you do better and faster. But, and this is really important, you have to understand the principles yourself. So it's a huge waste of time and resources if I teach you how to use AI to develop research ideas if you don't know how to develop research ideas without AI. You understand what I'm saying? You have to know the fundamentals behind it. For research, for writing, for statistics, for ideas, for methods, and then use AI to expedite it, to do it better, faster, and you have to verify the output of the AI. So tomorrow when we do the exercise, we're going to do this together. We're going to do this together where you guys and I are going to go, I'm going to teach you how to use AI to sort this out, but first we have to learn the skills together. Everyone with me? Yes? Yes? Okay. But first, you would do the exercise that I'm going to teach you, that you're going to do today. Do it without AI. Just do it applying the principles that I'm explaining to you here today. Okay? All right. So number 5 is guidelines. So everyone is familiar with the concept of a guideline. I know there's some junior people here, so let me explain in 15 seconds. A guideline is a statement where a group of doctors who are very well known in a topic get together to write the best evidence on that topic. So I'll give you an example. I'm a cardiologist and I do cardiac imaging. And within cardiac imaging, there's a concept called CT, computed tomography, fractional flow reserve. I'm not going to get into details on what it is. It's called CT-FFR. And there recently was a guideline, a consensus document from the American College of Cardiology, from SCCT, the Society of Computed Tomography, on CT-FFR. It's a document by worldwide specialists on CT-FFR. I was actually part of the guideline committee. So I'm one of the guideline authors on that specific topic, CT-FFR. Everyone understand me so far? But let me ask you this. On a guideline, whether it's on limb ischemia or CT-FFR, do you think the authors of those guidelines will share only what they absolutely know for sure? Or will they share the gaps in the literature? what is still unknown, what is controversial. What do you think? What do you think? They will share also the controversial. They share everything. So if you read that guideline, guys, you can find what is known, but you can also understand the gaps. Understand? Everyone get that? You can also understand the gaps in the literature. Yeah? Get it? Okay, so that's the purpose of looking at a guideline. Let me show you an example. By the way, all the examples I've shown you of papers are from students of the Meta-Analysis Academy who learned the publication roadmap just like you guys are doing it. The reason why I show these examples are twofold. There are two reasons. Number one, because it's a great way to teach by examples, analogies, like the analogy of the breaking news. I love doing that. Examples, analogies. I think it's a really great teaching style. I've always loved to teach. I've won a bunch of teaching awards from Miami, from Harvard, from everywhere I've been. And I think one of the reasons why people like my teaching style is because it's full of examples and analogies. So that's number one. But the second reason why I show you all these examples is because it inspires you. Like these people, they didn't have research experience. Some of them were clinicians, doctors, medical students, pre-meds, and they started exactly where you are today. So again, I want you to get this sense that it really is accessible. It's within your reach. You just have to reach your hand and apply the same methods that these folks did. Okay? All right? Okay, so look at this guideline. This is a European guideline on cardio-oncology. Involves both oncology and cardiology. And one of the texts in the guidelines, okay, from that guideline, it said this. Listen to this. Listen to this statement that I'm going to read. It's written in the guidelines. Low dose apixaban or rivaroxaban may be considered as an alternative to heparin or aspirin in patients with multiple myeloma. Let me ask you this. May be considered. Does that wording reflect certainty or controversy? Does that wording reflect 100% sure or maybe not? It's uncertainty, okay? And uncertainty or controversy is the key. Controversy is the key, okay? Controversy is the key, all right? So this guy, who was a medical student at the time, now he's a resident. He's applying for cardiology fellowship right now. But at the time, he was a medical, he actually had just graduated at the time. He was an MD already. He had just graduated. He saw this in the guideline, and he published a really strong paper on this same topic. It's because he saw the guideline and he saw that it was controversial. So he published this where? In the British Journal of Hematology. British Journal of Hematology. This is one of the best journals in the world in hematology. And guys, look what's cool. Look at this. This is such a cool story. He got this idea from a guideline. He published a paper in a great journal. And then another guideline, this one from the European Hematology Association, another guideline cited his paper later on. Isn't that so cool? He got the idea from a guideline. He published a paper on the topic, and then another guideline cited his paper, right? So you can look to guidelines to see exactly what Anthony said. Can you guys put Anthony's comment on the screen? Controversy is key. Controversy rules. Controversy is the king of ideas. Controversy is the king or the queen of ideas, okay? So how are you going to do this? By the way, using this is such an important comment. I want everyone to stop writing and listen to what I'm going to say. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The goal of training you guys on multiple different methods is that you have many resources, but some of them will work better in your specialty than others. Did you understand what I just said? Some of them will work better in your specialty than others. So, for example, guidelines may not work very well in very niche topics. So, for example, if you do ortho hand, I don't know if there is a guideline on just ortho hand problems. I don't know. Maybe there is, but maybe there isn't. But if you do something that's more broad, like pulmonary embolism, you're going to find lots of guidelines on that topic. You guys understand? So this method may not apply very well if you're studying a very niche disease. There may not be guidelines. How are you going to find out if there is guidelines? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to Google or ChatGPT, and you're going to find out which is the number one and number two society in your area. So, for example, vascular surgery, Society of Vascular Surgery, SVS, is the number one guideline. Okay? SVS. So then you go to Google and you say SVS guidelines, and you click there and you see what guidelines they have on your top, if they have guidelines on your topic of interest. Don't pick guidelines that are very old, from 3 years ago, because what was controversial 2-3 years ago may not be controversial now. So if you don't have good guidelines in your area, what are you going to do, guys? Use another method. Use the hot topic debates, use the conferences, use the newsletters. But if you like multiple myeloma and a guideline just came out in multiple myeloma, that is a phenomenal resource for you to have great research ideas. So not all methods apply equally to all specialties, but the combination of methods works great for all specialties. Did everyone get that? Did everyone understand what I just said? Yes? Yes? So if you like lung cancer and the Thoracic Society just published a guideline on lung cancer, read it. Read it right now and find out the controversies. Not just what's established, but find out the controversies. And if there's no recent guideline on lung cancer, use the newsletter method and the conferences and everything I just said. Okay? Understood? Yes, yes? Okay, so out of these 5 methods, which one do you guys think is my favorite? Which one do you guys think is my favorite? Guys, your goal, I love this comment by Alina. Thank you for putting this comment, Alina. Your goal is to match the energy and commitment individually, okay? I know collectively you guys are doing phenomenal. The chat is super exciting, and everyone here who is live is just doing so well. So I love your enthusiasm. But individually, you in your home, in India, in Colombia, in Germany, in South Africa, you have to match the intensity. You have to match the same intensity yourself. Okay? And commitment. All right? Do the exercise. Show up tomorrow. Do all these things. Okay? Which one do you guys think is my favorite? Recent publications. Exactly right. It works super well. This was a PowerPoint slide that didn't project well. But this is Sarah. Okay? Sarah is a radiology resident. Some people were asking about radiology earlier on. This is her presenting in, I think, Austria. I think it was in Vienna, in the European Conference of Radiology. Right behind her picture, there is a paper in the top journal in the world in radiology on ultrasound-derived fat fraction. What did Sarah do? She saw a recent publication in radiology, and she published on that topic in European Radiology. Guys, do you have any idea how hard it is to publish in European Radiology? That's like one of the top journals in the world. Like many researchers from Harvard, from Yale, from Hopkins, they spend their careers to publish a paper in European radiology. It's not easy. And Sarah, as a resident working 1,000,000 hours a week, published as first author over there. And it all starts with the idea. It all starts with the idea. So Beatrice is a medical student. She published as a first author in one of the top journals in the world in critical care. Called Critical Care. It's called Critical Care, the journal. Where did she get the idea from? A recent publication in the New England Journal of Medicine. This method is reproducible. You can do it yourself. You could be anywhere in the world. It could be in a tiny island in the Atlantic, like the paper I showed you from our student from São Tomé and Príncipe. You could be in the Caribbean. You could be in South America. You could be in Europe, Asia, wherever. The method works for everyone in every specialty. So guys, that was the first part of today, 5 methods to have high impact research. The second part of today will be much quicker. It'll probably be like 20 to 30 minutes at most. But before I move forward, thumbs up in the chat if you're enjoying it, if you're super psyched and enthusiastic to keep going. Before we, feel free to get up and stretch if you want to, and I'm not going to take a break because it's only a short section, okay, coming up. So there will be an exercise on the methods to develop research ideas, okay? There will be an exercise on this. At the end, we will record attendance for the scholarship draw tomorrow. And then we will also show you how to do the exercise so you can compete for that iPad. All right? So, and of course, I keep talking about the iPad, but the number one goal of the exercise is your own learning, is your own learning journey. Okay, so please make sure to do the exercise because you will implement many of the things we've learned today. And by the way, we will leave this recording available for just 24 hours. So if your friends are interested in watching the roadmap, I'm sure you have med students who you'd like to do research with, set up a nice research group at your local university. Many of our students have done that. Make sure to share this recording with them and tell them to watch it today. You got to watch it today. This guy from Boston, Dr. Cardoso, he gave this great talk on how to develop research ideas. Okay? So let's keep going. On part 2 now, okay? Get ready for... So let's do part 2 right now, guys. We're going to do the gateway to successful publications. So remember the exercise, I already told you guys that. So what's this next part about? This next part is a little different than the first component of what we did today. The first component was very technical. It's like idea, method 1, idea, method 2, idea, method 3. The second part of today is a mix of technical skills and should I say career advice, inspiration, motivation. It's a mix of those things. You guys are going to understand in just a second. But if the mission of part 1 was to teach you how to develop research ideas, the mission of part 2 is very simple. It's for you to understand that you can do this, that it is possible for you, no matter what your circumstances are. My goal right now in the next 20 minutes is to show you how you're going to overcome all these barriers, all these difficulties that you've faced. Okay, so let's learn this together. Remember all those barriers you guys said in the beginning? I don't have mentors, I don't have time, I don't have skills, I don't have support. We're going to overcome all of that. And the reason and how we're going to do it is with systematic reviews and meta-analysis. So that's what we're going to discuss right now. You're going to understand why this is. First, you need to understand the concept, of course, of doing a meta-analysis. The concept is quite simple. Remember the example from Enrique, from the gynecology example on contraception. Let's say we're debating on whether we want to give long-term contraception to women after delivery or not. Oh, we want to do it right now, early, or after they deliver the baby, or only later after a few weeks. If we want to answer that clinical question, you'd have to set up a study in your country. You'd have to go to the ethics committee. In the United States, we call them IRBs, Institutional Review Board. You'd have to go to the IRB, the ethics committee. You'd have to recruit patients, get consent, call them, review the charts. Do you know how long that would take? Any guess from anyone to do a randomized control trial in your home country? It would take a few $100,000. I don't know. It depends on the size of the study. Maybe $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. It depends on the size of the study, where you are in the world. And it would typically take about a year to 2 years at the earliest. And many people do that. And we love that they do that. Those researchers are really important. So maybe someone in Berlin gets a sample size of all their pregnant women, all their postpartum women, and they recruit 100 women for their study. It's not all the women in Berlin who delivered the babies. It's a sample of the women in Berlin. But then maybe someone else did that in Johannesburg. Maybe someone else did that in Los Angeles. Maybe someone else did that in Tokyo. So when we do a meta-analysis, we put together an aggregate sample of all the people all over the world who've done that. That's exactly what Enrique did. If you look at his paper, there are 24 trials from all over the world with 2,500 participants. And what that allows us to do is this. What that allows us to do is put together a large sample size. This is critical. We didn't have to do the very long, time-consuming, resource-intensive trouble of recruiting patients, waiting 1 year, 2 years, going to the ethics committee, and we were able to put together a much larger sample size, like in Enrique's case, 2,500 patients, but have students, for example, that have published meta-analysis with 100,000 patients, 1 million patients, because those patients come from all over the world, okay? So I don't mean to say it's easy. This is really important. I love the comment from Salatiel that it's faster, certainly is. And it's true that it's easier than doing a randomized control trial, but it's not easy to do it. That's why there's a lot of value. Because if it was, and people do very sloppy work too when they do meta-analysis, but I'm talking about doing really great quality meta-analysis, great quality papers. You have to be very skilled in doing that. And it's not easy, but that's what we teach in our program. So that's why meta-analyses are so powerful, because you can get a larger sample size much faster than you could recruit locally in your hospital, okay? So a meta-analysis is a quantitative synthesis. We put together many studies that are similar to each other. The studies have to be similar to each other. You can't, there's a saying in English, you can't compare apples and oranges. We can't put together studies that are too different from each other. And that's exactly what these students have done that I've showed you. So Natalia from Medellin, she published a great meta-analysis in neurology before matching in Miami. Why? Because in Medellin, it's much easier for her to do a meta-analysis than to recruit patients and find the mentors and find the money and the funds to do a randomized or even a cohort study on this. So a lot of people ask the difference between systematic review and meta-analysis. A systematic review is the step-by-step process, one step at a time, to identify the right studies, to select the studies, to analyze the studies. And the meta-analysis is the statistics. A meta-analysis is the math. Meta-analysis is the statistical analysis of putting those studies together. This is the meta-analysis. This is the meta-analysis. The systematic review is the process to find one study, another study, to report them, to triage them. So that when we say let someone did a meta-analysis, they did a systematic review and meta-analysis. That's what they did, both those things together. Systematic review is the process to find, select, analyze those studies. And the statistical part is the meta-analysis. So that's why this is so powerful, okay? Now, how does the step-by-step work? What are the necessary steps beyond developing the idea? That's what we're going to learn tomorrow. Right now, we're going to do a deeper dive into meta-analysis itself. Why meta-analysis? How does it work? Why is it so powerful? Tomorrow, you're going to get the idea, and we're going to work from that step onto step number 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so forth. So you can't miss tomorrow. You have to be here live tomorrow morning as well. So day 2, this is what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to discuss the exercise and learn all about AI while we're doing it. We're going to learn the 10 steps. We already learned step number 1, develop the idea. But then we're going to learn method 2, building the question. Method 3, testing viability. Part 4, search strategy. Part 5, the databases. 6, triage. You're going to learn about those 10 steps, many of which you've already asked in the chat. And then we're going to talk about your career in part number 3. So tomorrow is also going to be about 2-hour session, just like today. Please make sure you're here live tomorrow, okay? Because you're going to do the exercise and all these things, okay? So now to finish off today, I'm going to do a deeper dive in meta-analysis. Why are we doing meta-analysis? And before we do that, I want to show you this video right here. This video became very popular in social media over the past few days. It's a video by Dr. Glockenflecken. Fantastic video. He exposes one concept that I'm going to discuss. But let me play this video here. Many of you already saw this video, so take a listen to what he said about the residency match in the US.
Neurosurgery, the median number of publications, manuscripts submitted to a journal and accepted, 12 and a half. The maximum, 56. Neurology, matched, the maximum, 108. Someone had 108 neurology publications. Ortho, the median, 7. Maximum, 84 publications. Can you imagine? Like, you're like a full professor at that point. 84 publications. Here's why I think research should be banned, because there is no way. I don't care. I will hear your argument, but I'm not going to agree with it. This is not good research. There's no way this is research that's worth taking whatever time away from clinical medicine, learning how to be a doctor, to do 84 freaking publications.
So this video became very popular in the last few days. I think it's reached hundreds of thousands of views. And I'm a really big fan of Dr. Glockenflecken. He does not just the comedy, but he addresses some very serious issues in medicine. You guys may know him. And over here, but I want to comment on the last part of the video where he said, I agree with him that research inflation is a problem. Like people having like 50 publications of low value stuff, case reports, and narrative reviews in predatory journals, low quality systematic reviews and meta-analysis. But where he's fundamentally wrong is in that last part of the video, where he says that, you know, there's no way that at least some of this is high quality research. And this is the key component that we're going to address right now, is that this is only worth doing if you're going to do it really high quality. And I made a comment on that video. I posted about that. And the key, in my opinion, and what I want to share with you guys is this is only worth doing if you're going to do it with impact. But the good news is that the program directors have caught on to this. People who have 30 case reports and a bunch of low value things just published in predatory or weak journals, you're going to get so burned when you apply for residency. It's going to be worse than having nothing, because there's a huge backlash on this low quality research and publications. This is how ERAS, the electronic residency application system, have moved towards. Now you're going to name your most relevant work, your research work. So if you've published as first author in a major journal, it's going to impress a ton of people. But if your best scholarly work is a silly case report or a silly meta-analysis that's very weak, you're like seventh author, this is going to burn you. It's going to destroy your application. So, but where he is fundamentally wrong is when he's saying that there's no way that this is high quality research. Let me show you some papers that our students have done. This is European Urology by a final year medical student. #1 journal in urology in the world. A medical student did that. This is Juan, a medical student from Colombia, Journal of the American College of Cardiology. This is one of the top journals in the world in cardiology. This is a medical student from Dubai, Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery, #1 journal in plastic surgery. This is Journal of Vascular Surgery, #1 or #2 journal in vascular surgery. Ahmed, this is really cool, and Gabriel, both of them, Ahmed and Gabriel, they published in JVS, Journal of Vascular Surgery, and they both matched in surgery in the United States. So the premise that medical students doing research are low value research is up to you guys to individually break that assumption. How? By doing high quality work. So everything I'm going to say, everything I've said during this time presumes high quality work. This has to be really well understood for you guys. Okay? It has to be high quality work. If you publish crappy papers, if you are just seventh author, fifth author, you don't have any first author work, if you do silly case reports, if you do low value publications, you will get burned. And it's not just for residency. It's for fellowship. It's for your career. Make sure you do good quality work. And that's what we always emphasize in the program. It's the quality of your papers, like this one here. And these are points that I want to make with you guys to finish up. Meta-analysis are extremely powerful if you do them well conducted. This is a paper from a medical student. It's got, at this point, more than 35 citations in the literature. A medical student with dozens and dozens of citations, publication in one of the best journals. This is a medical student, Marcelo, who was cited by Diabetes Care, by diabetes guidelines. This is the #1 document in the world in diabetes. It's done. This paper was done by a medical student as first author. It was his idea, his project. So the premise that you as a medical student, as a junior person, as a resident, can't do high quality work is totally flawed. But obviously that's very individual. It has to be up to you to break this assumption, let's say. So #1, meta-analysis are extremely powerful if well conducted. #2, they get a lot of citations, including from guidelines. #3, they are accepted in great journals. #1 journal in ophthalmology, great journal in anesthesia, great journal in cardiology, JAMA Cardiology, great journal in neurosurgery. These are top journals in the world. Fateme is from Dubai, medical student, published in the Journal of Pediatric Surgery, probably the #1 journal in pediatric surgery. Okay, so this is the Lancet. These are great papers. #4, guys, meta-analysis win research awards. This is an award from one of our students from Paraguay. He later matched. He matched in internal medicine in Chicago. These are our students who went to Endocrine Society meeting and won awards there. This is Luis, won the award from the American Society of Clinical Oncology. Bezalel from India Where's folks from India? I haven't seen a lot of, where's the team India there? Bezalel is from Kerala, southern part of India. He won a $2,000 research award at the International Society of Thrombosis and Hemostasis. This is in Germany, European Society, EFORT. It's the Ortho Conference of Europe in Germany. Igor was a medical student. He won Best Poster Award in the European Conference as a medical student, guys. This is a group that won in Madrid, European Society of Medical Oncology. So this is one of our students who was also cited in the guideline. Travel award from the Menopause Society, $2,000. Number 5, meta-analysis informed clinical practice. This is a citation in UpToDate. This is citation by the American Diabetes Association. Citation in the endoscopy guidelines. Number 6, meta-analysis have increased power. Look at this publication I did a number of years ago. There are 14 papers here. None of them showed a positive effect of one therapy versus another. Only when I had 7,000 patients, almost 7,000 patients, did I show that there was a benefit of one strategy versus the other. But only the aggregate analysis of 7,000 patients could show me that. Okay? And finally, this is something we're going to discuss a lot tomorrow. If everything I'm telling you guys presumes great quality, if you do garbage work, leave me out of it. What I'm going to train you guys is how to do high quality work. First author paper for great journals. So Yasmin, for example, matched an OBGYN in the States. She's at UMKC, OBGYN resident. She published this paper and many others. Gabriela matched in surgery at Harvard as an IMG, multiple publications. Denilsa is the first person ever from the country of Mozambique in Africa to match in the United States. Let me repeat that. She is the first person ever from the country of Mozambique in Africa to match for residency in the United States. How did she do that? First author publications. Luca won a scholarship at Johns Hopkins for a master's degree. Carlos did his research fellowship, as I mentioned before. Carol came to Harvard for an observership. Opening doors in your career is what high impact publications will do for you. Later on, you guys, I'm not going to take the time right now. Later on, read the message from Den Hui. Den Hui is from South Korea. He is now coming to be a surgeon in the United States, and he narrates his journey of connections, immigration, green card application. And all these people started where you are right now. They started not knowing how to develop research ideas. They started not having connections. They started not knowing how to do it, but learning the skills that I trained you on today, that I will train you on tomorrow, will open these doors in your career. Tomorrow, we're going to break down all of these elements. And how we're going to do that is by training you how to do meta-analysis. Because when you do meta-analysis, you can learn the skills. It's so much faster. You don't need funding. You will build your network of connections. You will find your mentors. We will talk about that tomorrow. And you don't need support from your institutions, okay? So tomorrow we're going to break down all these barriers for publication. Tomorrow we're going to knock down all these barriers. How come I'm going to publish this if I don't have time, if I don't have funding? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay, so today I showed you that the gateway to these successful publications is to do meta-analysis. We learned these 5 methods to develop great research ideas. And tomorrow we have all these elements to learn. It will also be about 2 hours tomorrow. All the people who want to join the Meta-Analysis Academy, it's a full 10-week program where we go over every step in detail. I'm not going to explain the Meta-Analysis Academy now, just in the interest of time. If you want, join our early bird registration group. There will be a special offer for people who join the early bird registration group. So We put the QR code here, and there will be a link in the chat. Okay, there will be a link in the chat for those who want to join the early bird group. I'm going to ask the team to put it here. Please, guys, put the link in the chat. Link, please. And again, this group, Rhanderson, why do we need a separate group for this? It's because we don't want to mix the things of the publication roadmap and the Meta-Analysis Academy. The Meta-Analysis Academy is an advanced training program of 10 weeks that I train you guys on how to do each step, statistics, writing, triage, all the steps. In the publication roadmap, which is what we're doing here today, we have a lot more to learn tomorrow. So we want to keep things separate. If you want to join the Meta-Analysis Academy, join the early bird registration group, because on Monday at 12 p.m. New York time, you will have the opportunity to join. Again, that's going to be Monday. You're going to have the opportunity to join the Meta-Analysis Academy. But all you have to do right now at this minute, if you're interested, is join that early bird registration group. So now we're going to do the attendance. I'm going to ask my team to send a link in the chat to register attendance. Okay, please fill this out. Fill out the attendance so that you can get credit for being here live today, and you can actually compete tomorrow for a scholarship to join the Meta-Analysis Academy. And then again, this is the link to join the early bird registration group. When you try to join the group, sometimes a lot of people try to join at once, and WhatsApp doesn't allow people to join at once. So you will have the opportunity to join later during the day. Okay? All right, so sometimes the group gets too full or people can't join. We'll help you throughout the day. You just have to follow the prompts by joining the link. I'm just going to ask my team if anything else here before I let you guys go from... Oh, we have to show you the exercise. This is important. Guys, where's the link? Can you guys send me the link for the exercise? Send me the transmission link. Don't go yet. I have to show you the exercise. I'm going to show you exactly where to find it. I'm going to show you guys here where you can find the transmission link, where you can find the exercise for day 2. Please, guys. Anna, Julio, Marlon, anyone, transmission link. I just need the transmission link to share with the folks here. Just a second, guys. So in this link that we're going to share with you guys, you're going to have not the link to join the early bird. Yes, thank you. Okay, so this link that I'm going to show you guys here is where you're going to do the exercise. Okay, so right here, look, right here, you're going to have the exercise. We're going to send this as in the groups, in the WhatsApp groups, and you're going to download this exercise right here, and you're going to do the exercise for the publication roadmap by tomorrow. Okay, this is going to be really important for you, really crystallize the concepts that you learned today. Okay, is that clear to everyone? All right. Any questions? Let me just make sure. Oh, people are saying the link is invalid. Just a second. We're going to sort this out. People are saying the link is invalid. Hold on a second. Oh, no. Okay, so this is the link for the attendance. And we're also going to put the link for the exercise here, okay? I'm just going to hold on. If you're done, I'm just going to wait for people to... We're going to send this link right now, again in the chat, folks. Yeah, the link for attendance is working fine, okay? Many people have been able to do it. So maybe you can copy and paste that link in a browser to register the attendance. And we're going to have the exercise for you guys in the transmission page. We're going to send the link for the exercise and the transmission page in the groups in just a second. So you can find that in the bulletin board as well. I think that's it on our end. Guys, are we good here? Are we good, everyone? Marlon, can you play that video, please, at the end? The one you showed me, the video at the end. And then we'll be done. It's great being with you guys, okay? All the best, okay? Really had a lot of fun here with you guys here today. Look at these publications that you see on the screen, abstracts presented in international meetings worldwide. Maybe you want to do residency in a competitive program. Maybe you want to go to another country, apply for a PhD. Can you imagine how much easier it will be to get there with high impact publications such as these?
Currently, I have 18 abstracts accepted in international and national conferences, and most recently, I had a first author publication in the Climatech Journal, which is the official journal of the International Menopause Society. I'm very proud of this result.
I have right now 3 papers published, 18 abstracts presented at international conference, at ACC and American Heart Association sessions. It's been a year since I started the course, and I already see the results.
Believe me, I've been frustrated and disappointed in trying to find research mentors in my career. And I want to show you a different method by which you can get mentors.
It's a great surprise to find a community that's so supportive and that is able to help each other based on different skills that are necessary to get a project done.
As a 50-year medical student, you don't feel that very important to the medical field. When I received the email, I was very surprised. I just came back from Atlanta, where I presented in the ACC 24 my abstract as a first author.
I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity of being part of this team.
There's a specific research method that you can apply in your career that will give you results, that you can do it independently. You can develop an idea, work on it, and even draft the paper.
So I have 7 meta-analyses published and 12 abstracts, or even more because at some point you just stop counting. I got these publications in 1.5 years. I definitely didn't have research experience before.
Recently, I had 1 abstract accepted presentation on American College of Cardiology. Currently, I have 13 abstracts accepted in international conferences and 2 papers published, one of them as first author at GI Endoscopy. It was only possible because I learned how to do meta-analysis with the Meta-Analysis Academy course.
This will open doors of mentorship for you in your institution and beyond.
We choose to go to the moon, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
That's 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind.
It's also more than that. The Meta-Analysis Academy is a community of doctors and medical students who have this mindset that they not only want to get publications done, of course that will happen, but they also have this mindset of excellence, of wanting more. So it's these 2 things. It's the ability to get research done, and it's an environment that will provide the excellence that you look for in your career.